Great. So I wanted to just give a little bit of an intro for those of you that don't actually know us. So EngageSciences is a social media marketing platform. Commonly, people will be using us to drive their social media conversations, their messaging infrastructure. They'll be using us to build custom brand pages and to define social media marketing campaigns that leverage certain viral mechanics that help drive reach and engagement on social channels, as well as capture data around the people that are actually engaging with you through your social media marketing efforts. But when we look at ROI and actually what that means for Facebook marketing across all of our client base, we're serving clients in about 50 countries around the world now, people come at it from very different perspectives. And usually people will have a primary goal that they're trying to drive, and it may be fan acquisition, it may be reach, it may be social data, it may be changing brand perception, or it may be looking at social commerce, such as Play.com's case study. But quite often it's more than just one primary goal, it's actually a mixture of elements that really will define the return for that business in the investments they're making in those social media campaigns, that social media activity. But what we think that all of those elements are that actually define return is that they're all activation. It's a way of actually being able to move from just engaging with people on social channels to driving some form of measurable marketing goal. And so we really sort of see this logical flow as being something that our platform is really all about. It's about driving fan acquisition as the first part of your flow, and then engaging those fans on an ongoing basis with you as a brand, as an organization. Amplifying the activity that happens on social channels using viral mechanics to actually drive activation. And as people are engaging with you on social channels, profiling that audience down to an individual level. So you start to understand who those fans are. The more information you can find about people, the more you can actually use that data to drive marketing across multiple different channels, not just social. And that can actually come out with brand advocacy or brand activation or commerce activation, depending on the goals of that organization. Now I'm going to look at a particular campaign now that we did for one of our clients, Sony, which was an activation campaign, but it was very much focused on actually targeting a particular audience and actually making engagement with them around the launch of a new high-end camera. And this was it for Sony in India. It was around the Independence Day, and that coincided with the launch of this new high-end camera. And so what they did is they made connections with 24 photography schools in 24 cities across India. And they actually gave one of these high-end cameras to each of those schools. And each school had to pick 24 of their students to take pictures for an individual hour of the day on Independence Day. So at the end of it, they would have this portfolio of pictures, this witness to the Independence Day this year across 24 cities. So the day happened, the students went out, they took their photos, they made their record using the Sony camera of what happened in their city for the hour that they were given. Then they were allowed to upload those photos to Facebook, given a special code. And then that was made available to the wider public, the followers of Sony, and they could actually go in and actually view those photos, and they could filter it via school, via hour, via location. So if you want to see, what was the record of photographic record of what happened in Delhi at 2 o'clock in the morning on Independence Day, you could actually make that filter and go in there. Because you could filter down at that level, it obviously meant that people are competitive, they're trying to get the most votes for their particular school or their particular city, and it really drove an awful lot of votes around the competition. So people could actually go in, they could actually view their favourite photos, and they could actually go and then pin those to Pinterest. They could share those to their wall. And when actually they voted, they were given a cross-promotion there to, thanks for voting. Now you too can actually go and enter into a sweepstake to actually win the camera that was taking all these great photos. It was driving people, linking individual applications together. So people would actually go through, see the sweeps a chance to win a camera, and then they could go in, enter their details, which obviously is building up for Sony a set of data around people that are actually interested in photography and more particularly interested in this particular camera. And then once they've actually entered their details, they were using it for a friend mechanic, where you get additional chances to win by inviting your friends. If they actually converted, you get additional chances to win the camera. So ultimately behind that was a real data strategy to go out there, target a particular audience, and actually collect a lot of data that can be used for driving commerce a little bit later down the line. Well, one of the things that I think is important is once you've gone out there, you've created a campaign, maybe on multiple different channels, not just social, you've actually created a certain amount of buzz about that particular product launch and whatever it may be. And one of the things that I think Nokia have done very well, one of our clients, also the global sponsor of Social Media Week across the world, is they've taken it that next level. So it's not just about actually driving that engagement on channels. They're actually going out there and seeing what's being said and using the best of what's being said, the voices of their advocates, and actually putting that into their marketing across multiple different channels. So rather than just using social media as a universal inbox and monitoring what is being said to reply to it, they're also saving and reusing the best of what is being said about them as a brand and their products. And they're able to do that using EngageSciences to set up streams, keywords across social channels, bring that in, filter it, find the voices of advocates, and then choose to publish that into their website, Nokia.com, or actually into their Facebook pages as well. So they've gone to the effort of creating the campaigns, they've got loads of great buzz. It's then about reusing the voices of their fans across multiple different touch points. But coming back to something that was part of Carrie's presentation and was also a part of Adam's presentation, is actually thinking about Facebook marketing ROI. Where is it going? What's going to be happening in the next couple of years? Well, really, I would encourage you to think about social marketing from a data perspective, because the amount of data that you can capture on social channels is far more impressive than data that you can capture on any other channel that your business may be operating in. So being able to understand your audience, being able to understand their likes and interests, how they're engaging with you as a brand, as an organization across your social channels, how they're actually influencing their friends, whether they're dormant, whether they're active, they're passive. All these types of pieces of data can actually be fed into a central data repository to actually use social data to power marketing across multiple different channels. And one of the things that EngageSciences does very well is give you that detailed view of how you're engaging with your audience, how you're moving people from just being fans, from spectators, through to being engaged, through to being super fans, really driving referrals and reach for you across social channels. And that's done at an individual level. So at any fan in your database, you can go in there and see a whole timeline of activity around the way that particular person is engaging with you and your marketing. And that social data, I think we're going to see becoming more and more important over the next couple of years. So that's the end of a quick view of Sony India. I think we're going to take a very short break now, so please get a coffee while we get set up for the panel to hear more from Nokia and Play and HSN and others. So let's take a 5-minute break and then we'll reconvene for the panel.